All right. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of What's Going On in There. I'm Stephen Tomlinson with Level 7. And we're going to leave it at that for now. I'm joined by my much taller and significantly more accomplished fantasy football playing business partner, Dave Hollister. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Excellent. This is the podcast, of course, where we ostensibly take a peek behind the curtain of some of Atlanta's most intriguing businesses under the pretense that we're going to talk about their facilities because, you know, level 7 cleaning and facilities and all that. But we never do. We just really talk about their businesses. We like to talk to business leaders from around the metro area and hear all about their stories of how they came to be where they are, where it is they're heading next, all about their victories, challenges, and lessons learned along the way. So today, Dave, we are joined by two very impressive people making their mark in their respective industries. Mr. George Nour, President and CEO of Chief Facility Defense.
Correct.
Look forward to speaking with George about what he's got going on there. And we have teamed up with George to look at some projects in the past, and hopefully we'll be teaming up in
absolutely
more opportunities in the future. But we also have our old friend, the lovely Lisa Schultz with Cheers ATL.
Thank you.
And her official title is Chief Party Planner.
Oh, no, you got that wrong.
Okay, what is it? It's
Chief Party Officer.
Chief Party Officer and Creative Director.
And Creative Director.
Did they charge you extra on your business cards when you had to write all that out?
No.
That's a lot. Going on.
Well, we'll just stick with the first part.
Okay, fair enough.
Chief Party Officer. I feel like that's easier to remember. And also awesome.
That is such a fantastic title.
In parentheses, and also awesome.
Yes.
So I think what we want to do before we really get started here is, Lisa, you can't, for those of you who cannot see what's going on the table here, it looks like a bar.
It's a party.
It is a party.
Party in the corner over here.
So I think that's a real good place to start. You don't want to be having drinks at the end of the show.
I want to get in that corner.
And we'll get into what Cheers ATL is all about soon. But we do know that Cheers ATL likes to have a good time.
I do like to have a good time. Yes, we do. And we like to help others do the same. So that's what we're going to do today. We'll pretend that it's after 5 because it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Absolutely.
Somewhere it is.
That's right.
So we don't have to worry about it. So we're going to get to it. So today, quickly before we get to everybody else, we're going to make you got me screwed up on this now. A caramel apple Moscow Mule, because
we say caramel in the South, just for the record.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not from the South.
I say caramel. I don't know what that.
Are you from the South?
Caramel.
Kinda.
Okay.
So
He's part Yankee.
I was born in Minnesota.
Okay. So
Your neck of the
were
woods.
you really?
Mm-hmm.
You know, when people say, I ask people where I'm from, and they're like, "You're from Minnesota," and I say, "How dare you say that? I'm not from Minnesota." But close enough. I'm from Wisconsin. And people in Wisconsin love to drink because there's nothing else to do in the 8 months of winter that we have there. So we're going to pretend, because the weather's crappy today.
Drum roll, please.
Drum roll. We're going to make, this is a super easy drink. I'm all about making easy stuff. I like to make fancy stuff sometimes, but for the sake of time and also to follow along, which, by the way, you can find this recipe on my website probably by the time this comes out, we're going to have a good time. So what we have here today, like I said, a caramel apple Moscow Mule. It is fall, so we got the fall flavors in there, but it's not. When we're in the South, it's not really fall in September.
I was going to say it's not January yet.
Right? I mean, the weather might be crappy today, but in a couple of days, it's going to be back in the 80s and beautiful like summer. So even though it kind of feels like summer outside, this is still a great drink to have. So I'm going to pour. I've got mason jars here for the sake of being efficient and also clean and not making a mess of the studio. But of course, you always serve Moscow Mules in a copper mug just to keep the temperature correct. So I'm going to do a full jigger, which is 1.5 ounces.
So that's what that copper's all about. It's temperature control.
It's temperature.
Huh.
Mike, it might
Just
smell
learned
like
something.
caramel vodka in here. Sorry about that, guys. But anyway, so we're going to do 1.5 ounces of caramel vodka.
That's what you refer to as a jigger, correct?
Yes.
We don't ever use this when we mix drinks. We just pour booze in the bottle.
I'm trying to be really good.
Oh, sorry.
I'm trying to be good. Let me tell you why. Because I have a heavy pour. So I'm I'm
Just wait till the
saving
end
you
of the
guys.
show.
All right.
I'm saving you guys. That's all I'm doing. So I tried to get apple cider, which I could not find at the store. So what I have is unfiltered apple juice because I feel like, you get regular apple juice, it's not going to have that full flavor. So if you can't find it, use the unfiltered kind. Of course, if you just have apple juice, then just use that.
Can we tell our listening audience what you're doing so that they get the recipe here? So
Of
there was
course.
a jigger of vodka.
Yeah, a jigger of vodka. So 1.5 ounces is what I have. My jigger is 1.5 ounces, and then I'm also doing the same of the unfiltered apple juice or apple cider. Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
That's fancy.
Now it's a party.
Now it's a party. Holy moly. So I'm going to pass these mason jars out real quick because I want you guys to participate here. Stephen, this is whoever's this is. I have 1/4 of a lime since we're just making one drink. If you could just each of you take a lime. And you're going to squeeze that right in your mason jar. As much juice as you can get out. That was a pretty juicy one from earlier that I cut. So I'm going to give you each a cap. When you're done, you can put it back in the bag when you're finished. Or you could leave it in there. I mean, hey, it's party now.
When in Rome.
It's a party now. So just make sure that your mason jars are closed up all the way. Give it a real good shake. Get everything mixed around in there.
Like a Polaroid picture.
Mix it up.
Like a Polaroid. Who remembers that?
Shake it.
Polaroid
Like a Polaroid picture. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That's good. I've got some cups of ice here. I just happened to steal from the restaurant we were just at.
All right.
Borrowed.
I mean, whatever. You can put as much ice in there as you want. I usually fill about 3/4 of the way. Whatever works for you is great. And the last thing that we're going to put in here is ginger beer.
Ooh.
Which is not alcoholic, by the way. It's kind of like root beer, but it's ginger beer. I tried to give some to my 12-year-old yesterday. I'm like, you have to taste this. And he's like, that looks alcoholic. I can't have any of that.
I never said that when I was 12.
Got a good kid there.
First of all, why would I do that? Am I that terrible of a person that I would give you an alcoholic beverage? But so he tasted it, and he's like, this is spicy. It is a little spicy. So you want to pour as much as you like in there. Maybe 1/4 to half of that bottle if you guys want to do the same. Go ahead and pour that in there. You just top it off with some ginger beer. So to recap, we had 1.5 ounces of caramel vodka. We had 1.5 ounces of unfiltered apple juice. Squeeze 1/4 of a lime in there. Don't shake it.
No more shaking?
No more shaking. Top it off with some good ginger beer. You can swirl it around if you want. I feel like that kind of at least blends the flavors a little bit. It opens it up. And then enjoy it. You can top an apple if you like. We can be fancy and top it with an apple on the side.
Tap that apple.
On the side.
Sorry about that.
Go ahead and either drop it in your drink or you can just put it right on the side there. We make it fancy. You could garnish it with all kinds of things. You could put a cinnamon stick in there, which I didn't do today. You could put an apple. You could put a sprig of rosemary or something in there. But yeah, so you just enjoy.
Awesome.
Thank
you.
Bottoms up.
Absolutely.
Lisa.
Bottoms up.
This is
Cheers.
Lovely.
Cheers.
How about it?
Cheers,
We're going to have you
everybody.
back next month.
Okay.
Cheers. All right.
I'll have something better next month. It's kind of spicy if you don't like ginger beer.
Lisa, hold it
Excuse
down
me.
over there, please.
Oh, excuse me. Excuse me.
Wow.
That is right tasty.
So it is a little bit spicy. It's got all the fall flavors in there, but still keeps it nice and bubbly and light. And
It's delicious.
yeah, and if you want it to be more of a mocktail, minus the alcohol, which we could have done, you just leave the vodka out, and you still get the good flavor.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Might not be caramel at that point, but even if you put a little bit of caramel flavoring in there and shook it around,
Is it caramel? So
Caramel.
You almost have me
Sorry.
saying caramel.
caramel.
It's caramel flavored vodka.
Yes,
Got
this
it.
is caramel.
Got it.
Did I say it right?
I can't do that.
Caramel vodka, and of course, there's plenty of different brands that have caramel vodka.
Awesome.
So,
Fantastic. Thank you.
yeah, of course.
All right.
Enjoy.
So, well, that's going to lube up the show.
Vocal lube.
Well, I think that's maybe a good lead-in to get started with you, Lisa. We Cheers ATL. you guys are kind of just hitting the ground running recently, right?
Yes.
Lisa,
Yes.
of course, formerly of the Gwinnett Chamber,
Yes.
and is struck out on her own and bought a big, awesome-looking trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And already got some events in the works. And tell me about, give us an idea of who your sort of primary customer is, who you serve. It's pretty much corporate events, right?
Yeah, so we focus mostly on corporate events. So weddings and things like that are not really our gig right now. You never know in the future what we might break into, but my background is in corporate events, networking, golf tournaments,
the fun stuff.
The fun stuff, employee appreciation events, which, people sometimes don't think about. Client appreciation. We can help with planning, between ideas and anything else that, maybe you want to bring your vision to life. Management throughout that, we can help you with swag bags. We can help you with any of the small details that maybe you don't have time for or just haven't thought about or don't have experience in. So it's always helpful to have someone there that's their sole focus if you really want to make an impression on your clients or whoever you're bringing in. Events are a great way to, brand your business, say thank you to employees, to clients, to anybody that you care about within your business.
That's a really big item up for us right now, as we talked about a little while ago.
Yeah.
It's hard to find people that want to keep showing up these days, and everybody is running into that. And so, Dave and I were actually just talking to Lisa about we got to get something on the books. We've been talking about it for a while. An employee appreciation, make everybody feel the love and have a good time, and put work to the side for a minute. It's important.
Yeah, it is very important. Not everybody does that, and especially right now, people are so bogged down with everything that's going on, and everyone from business owners to just families, and everyone's got such a weight on their shoulders. You just have to take a break.
Yep.
And just have a good time and take a load off, and I'm here for it.
Hey,
We're here for a good time.
I'm here for it. So
right.
you did mention our trailer. We bought a brand new, totally awesome blackout trailer that we're outfitting for a mobile bar and cocktail lounge, so we can have good times anywhere.
You can pull it up on LinkedIn right now. I just saw it yesterday. It's a beaut.
Yep. So we're currently working on that now. It's going to debut at the end of October. And we're going to do a lot of fun things with it. So if you've got indoor space and the access, that we can pull this trailer into, we can do it inside, we can do it outside. You don't have to worry about the weather. We can do tenting. We have patio heaters. We've got furniture. We've got all kinds of fun things. So if you just want the trailer, we can do that. If you want a whole package, we can do that. And I'll just bring the fun, and
That's
you
awesome.
guys don't worry about it.
That's
Easy enough.
You
Easy
guys
enough.
just
Start
don't
planning the
even
parties.
worry about it.
That's it.
Yeah.
We could get you on retainer. I think that'd be a good idea for us.
I think that would be excellent. What a great idea. What a great idea. And especially, right now that, you kind of never know where things are going these days,
Yep.
whether you have to be far apart, if you can be together, you can, whatever. I've had people inquire about, we're going to start doing virtual cocktail parties. So even if you have friends across the country or clients across the country, you want to do a virtual happy hour, we'll film that within our bar trailer, so it's very professional looking. We can help you teach your clients or your friends or whoever. It doesn't have to be corporate at all. We can teach you how to make a drink or two, and it's something to do. It's about the experience.
So you could do private parties as well. I mean, that's something. Yeah.
I mean, we can do big things, small things. Most of our on hands event planning is corporate. Like I said, I don't really do weddings, but our mobile bar and cocktail lounge might take us into different places. So anything that you can imagine.
I would imagine with COVID numbers spiking up right now, that's I don't know. You maybe you're getting some kickback on having gatherings right now. How is that affecting the business?
I have not seen too much of that. I think people are sick of it.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to be safe, and there are plenty of ways to be safe. I've done a lot of events in the last couple of years that all of this has been going on. Yeah. And you can do it. You can hold events. You can still be safe at the same time.
Yep.
So, I mean, it all just depends on what your thought process is, depends on what you're trying to do, but there are ways to make that happen. So even if it is virtual, like I said, and you just want to do something lighthearted and do a cocktail party or do something, you can still get together, and we can still help with that.
Amen. I like
Wonderful.
that. Wonderful. Well, I'm going to move around the table. Over here to my left is George Nour, who I just had the pleasure of meeting 15 minutes ago for the first time, although our paths have crossed indirectly a number of times. And as soon as I met you, George, I recognized that there's a Southern accent there, and I was like, all right, this guy's not. He may be from the Atlanta area, but he's not from in town Atlanta.
Yeah.
So Carrollton native.
Correct.
And then through Tallahassee for high school age.
High school, right, and a little bit beyond, not much.
Okay. And just maybe give us an idea about, give us to start with the kind of high level. I know that Chief Facility Defense started out, had its origins as a fire suppression company, right?
Absolutely. Yep. So I'll talk a little bit about that. Went into the Navy after I was in high school, and I was ready to flee hometown. No matter where it was, I just wanted to get away.
Yep.
And I was stationed in San Diego. So I'm just going to tell you, I highly recommend that. It was a good time. Came home, and believe it or not, I've always played the guitar and sang a little bit. So I came home to Panama City Beach, Florida, which was a lot better than Tallahassee, and started playing a little music down there. Did that for about 3 or 4 years. Applied for the Atlanta Fire Department, and in 2000 I got hired there. Towards the end of 2000, and moved up to Atlanta again, back home. And started there. So that's kind of where I started with my career. Had a couple of other jobs, after the service. But Atlanta, the fire department was my kind of my long-term goal.
What was your home station?
Station 4.
Okay.
So right by Grady Hospital, right downtown.
Right in the thick of things.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was great. I was on Squad 4. Squad 4 is the heavy rescue, technical rescue company. So I was a lieutenant there. I wound up retiring the lieutenant there. But I spent the majority of my career there. And
you guys are typically first responders in almost most cases, right?
Everything. And we didn't do any medical. Our unit did.
Okay.
The fire department does in general, but ours was a specialty unit. So hazardous materials, rope rescues, confined space, structural collapse. And then, like even 9/11 here recently, we just had our 20-year on that. I was waiting to go to the recruit school, so they had us doing, chores, drive around town and dropping supplies off. And I was actually downtown at Station 7, and one of the guys we were dropping supplies off that morning, and one of the guys ran out and said, "Hey, you guys got to come check this out." Plane just flew into the building, and that's how my fire department career started out.
Wow.
Before I even made it to recruit school, so it was kind of a badge of honor. So that was great. And then 15 years in the fire department. I retired in 2016 because of my business. So in 2011, my business partner, Marty Van Dries, and I purchased Chief Fire Protection Company. Long story there. I don't want to tell you how long it took because it was at the end of the 2008, financial issue, and lending was not happening. But we made it happen, and we started out with 2 employees, and a little building right in the west end of Atlanta, where it still is. And it's grown since then. So in 2016, I was able to retire. We invested a lot of time in it, and now we've got a location in downtown Atlanta, the same one in Nashville for Chief Fire Protection Company. And we've got about 25 employees between the both. Started Chief Electric about 2 years ago in 2019, full-turn electrical contracting company, and that's been a great success.
How was that jump? I mean, I guess obviously you knew fire and fire suppression systems, but you're dealing with the same people who are making those decisions, I assume.
Exactly, and what we started doing was low voltage work, so fire alarm panels, CCTV access control. And our end customer wanted us to provide a turnkey solution, so they wanted us to handle the electrical trades. Well, I started subcontracting that out, and that didn't work out too well.
Yep.
So we took control of it, found a group, and started our own company, and it's grown since then.
Fantastic.
We got guys in 3 states today right now working, so that's been great. The end goal was to have a full-turn facility maintenance company, and so we started a corporate office, and it's Chief Facility Defense, where it's in Beaufort. But we're in, again, 3 or 4 states as we speak today with different projects, and we've kind of taken a full turnkey approach, to facility maintenance, to take care of the major building systems life safety, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, but then we also have ancillary things that the customers ask for, like Level 7 provides. And so we incorporated business and vendor partners so that we can offer that, to our customer as a turnkey solution.
That's fantastic.
Absolutely.
So all of your offices, do you see will wear the Chief Facility Defense brand eventually? I think, if I heard you correctly, in some places it's still Chief Fire Defense only.
It's Chief Fire Protection Company only, and so it's cool. Well, we're firemen, so we're very simple. You say give a fireman 2 steel ball bearings, they'll break one, lose the other one, right? And so we try to keep things very, very simple. So all of our locations are named stations. So Station 1 is the Atlanta office. Station 2 is land we bought in Birmingham, soon to come. Station 3 is in Nashville. 4 is our corporate office, and 5 is the electric. So the fire protection company is growing on its own, but then of course Chief Facility Defense, CFD, if we have a customer that wants fire protection, we bring in our group and we do it that way so that we can manage it almost like an account manager.
Yeah. And Chief Facility Defense has become your full-time job.
That's it.
Gotcha.
Retired from the fire department in 2016 and never looked back. It was great. I loved it, but I'm glad.
But the fire protection I guess offices and the electrical piece of it, do you directly oversee those as well, or you kind of got those in good hands?
I've got those in good hands by firemen I convinced to leave the job.
There you go.
So none of us have any business training or no college degrees between us. It was just little sweat equity.
That can be to your advantage for sure.
And so I got these guys out of the firehouse, and we worked together to figure out how to do it, and now they're running in each entity is run by a retired firefighter.
Well, we know
retired firefighter. Very cool. They're not super old.
We know you've got good contacts because you brought us in on a terrific opportunity.
Fantastic.
And we didn't win that bid, but we're going to keep chipping away.
There's more out there.
Yeah, that's right. Well, so you gave us good background on sort of how you came to be where you are. What do you think about when you look into the future? Where is Chief Facility Defense in 10 years?
Well, I think that no matter what company it is, the trick is, and one of our guiding principles in our company is the hedgehog solution, to where you find one thing and you're great at it. You don't get spread out so thin that you can't really manage all of them. So our hedgehog concept is inspections, test, and maintenance, and that's really where we focus. No matter what company it is, we are there to maintain that building. 10 years from now, we're constantly offering more for the customer. We don't want to be the cheapest. I don't want to go in there and say I'm the cheapest we can possibly be. That brings a poor customer service. You're worried about your time on job instead of the quality that you're delivering. So we're constantly adding more things in. So created a customer portal now where we manage all the customers' documents and inspection reports and everything for them. We do training. We do hands-on training for them, and it's all complimentary because we're doing these programs for them. So I see in 10 years just growing what we're bringing in a simple way to the customer and make it more, to enhance what we're bringing to that customer.
Well, forgive me, I'm in the dark. But what's hedgehog? What's the?
So
I don't know about a hedgehog.
It's fine. I will tell you that early in business, I figured out I don't really know anything. And,
good thing to realize.
So I started reading and listening to podcasts, and I figured out that there's no sense in reinventing the wheel. There are tons of resources out there for business management and leadership. Again, didn't go to college. I believe the sweat equity and learning as you go. Those mistakes are invaluable for business success. So I decided to put these guys together, and we started a leadership team, and we started doing book studies. And one of the first book studies we did was Good to Great by Jim Collins. And in that book there's several concepts, and he did some tremendous study. It's he did Built to Last first, then Good to Great. Well, it should be done in reverse order. And to Jim's point, he'll tell you that, or has said that in the past. There's different concepts throughout, right? And the biggest driving concept that took a company from good to great was, number one, leadership, level 5 leadership. He said he didn't want it to be a leadership book, right? but inevitably, as he did the research, he found that it was leadership that drove everything. But within that leadership culture is to find the one thing. So the fox and the hedgehog. The fox is always cunning and trying to find different ways to attack the hedgehog. Hedgehog rolls up in a ball and protects himself every time. Simple, and wins every single time. The fox runs around trying to find new ways, but that hedgehog concept is the one thing consistently. And one of the CEOs that was in one of the companies that that made it to that next level as a 25-time multiplier of their growth was said if he was a diver, if he was an Olympic diver, he would do a swan dive every single time, and it would be perfect every single time. No flips, no just the swan dive. And that's kind of the hedgehog concept is find that one thing and be the very best that you can be at it and exploit that the best way. So that's kind of the hedgehog concept.
We kind of use the same analogy. Stephen and I both have backgrounds in restaurants, and we use the same analogy as far as the restaurants. Do you want to go to a restaurant that has 4 things on their menu, or the restaurant that has 45 things on their menu? Can you really do 45 things well? And it's the same idea. Yep.
And it's great. That's what everybody, everywhere I've ever been with the best menu, especially on the beach, those are the greatest. I don't want to flip through 40 different things. I know I either want a burger, I want some oysters or something like that, and a cold beer, right? So make it simple for us and do that great.
I always think of Guthrie's.
Oh, man.
You're either going to get the chicken fingers or the chicken finger sandwich.
That's it. That's it.
But it was, lights out every single time.
Consistency,
That's right. Yep. Very good. Well, that's interesting, man. I definitely want to circle back to hear more about what you guys got going on. So, Lisa.
Yes.
Let's talk about. I
don't know what's going on over there, but no.
Sounds like it's getting very interesting.
We can skip over the reading material if you want to.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. How about any good movies or binge-worthy shows or great restaurants around Atlanta that you may recommend to our listeners?
Oh my gosh, binge-worthy shows. We don't watch a lot of TV, to be quite honest, but we're kind of late to the game on a lot of these things just because, we have young kids and you don't get to really watch anything that you want to watch. When you
what are your kids into?
Well, my kids are older now, so, they're into video games and sports and all that stuff. No video games.
Yes, unfortunately.
But
you mean you don't like Pokemon or...
Yeah, Dave's kids are a little bit younger. I got a teenager.
I got a 6 and an 8-year-old.
Okay, so they're all in
Pokemon
they love, and Mario and all those things, right?
Oh, Ninjago, Pokemon.
I don't even know how to pronounce half of it.
They just go along with it. You just go along with it. Right. So, anyways, we're kind of late to the game on some of the shows. I'm not going to say anything that's I guess not already been out there, but we had hooked ourselves onto Outlander. I don't know if you, of course, I'm late. Do you watch that, Dave?
I'm not familiar.
Okay.
I've got some friends
but I can tell you all about Ninjago.
I'm surprised they still have that, actually. I don't know. I've been out of the Ninjago game for a little while.
Yeah. Well, but, no, it's full force in my house. Yeah, I can tell you all about it.
Yeah. But, Magnificent Miss Maisel, I think.
Oh, yeah, the Marvelous Miss Maisel.
That Marvelous.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for that one to come back forever. There's
That's a good show.
Just stuff like that. Just we like to watch things that are just kind of mindless. To be quite honest,
right. Tune out the day.
Yeah, just tune out the day. I know this is we're probably supposed to be discussing business type things like we're watching, but let's be honest. You do it all day and you go home and you don't want to do it anymore,
That's
right?
Right.
That's exactly
especially when you're a business owner. I feel like it's not an 8 to 5 schedule. You work when you're needed, and sometimes it's 6 a.m, and sometimes it's 10 o'clock at night or whatever. We've got late nights and long days and things like that, and you watch things that you just want to take your mind off of stuff and laugh a little bit or be shocked by things that you see on TV. Quite honestly, which one of those shows you are quite shocked?
Oh yeah, which one?
With what you see on TV. But yeah, so
that's cool.
Those are my. I'm waiting for those shows to come back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start.
I need the new Ozark. season to come online.
Do you know what? I have never watched one of those shows.
It's a good one.
Need to.
And I always hear about it.
You need to.
It's good and dark.
But people are like, you have to make sure that the kids are somewhere else when you watch it.
Yeah.
Which is never the case.
It's bananas. Yep, for sure.
Yeah. We'll have to watch it.
I came across a pretty funny cartoon that was introduced to me recently. Big Mouth. You ever seen Big Mouth?
No.
It's like some of the cast members from Saturday Night Live. It's hilarious. If you come across it, highly recommend it. I mean, it's really stupid and really funny.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Was not.
Beg your pardon.
Pardon me. It's great drink.
George, you got any favorites? Any movies or binge-worthy shows?
I'm a Jason Bourne, James Bond kind of guy,
Yeah.
but I will tell you, I'm late to the game too.
Okay.
But last year, I guess it was last year, my wife and I started watching Yellowstone.
Yeah, my dad loves that show.
Golly. So I'm waiting.
You're hooked,
November
huh?
7th.
You're
It's
waiting for
coming
the new
out.
one?
Yeah, it's coming out, and we've already got it planned. I love it.
Yep. Yeah, I've heard about that. I actually saw the first episode, and it does look good.
It's dark as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like dark. I
Yeah.
like dark. But I'm like you. I just don't watch consistently enough. I'll watch a couple episodes and be like, hey, I can't wait for the next one, and then a month, then 2 months goes by, and I kind of forgot what happened. And,
Right.
yeah.
I get sucked in some of these, or it's just like then I'm up until 3 a.m, like watching the next one, and then watching the next one, and then it's done, and then I'm just mad.
Right.
that it's over, and then I don't have anything to watch the next night.
The last one that did that to me was Breaking Bad, and I came late to that party for sure because everybody had been talking about it, back when it was on in the 2013 to 16 ballpark, and I never watched a single episode, and then I discovered it last year, and I just mowed through that show. It's awesome. Yep. Better Call Saul, I guess, is a spinoff that's supposed to be good. Anyway, back to business, Dave. You keep
Oh, my
sidetracking
goodness.
us here. How are the dogs going to do this weekend?
Oh my goodness.
Let's get to the important stuff.
What's
Yeah.
the line on the game?
I think we're favored by 30.5.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we're going to crush them. And we're going to crush them with our third string quarterback.
Right.
Is it Stetson again?
Well,
Carson
Stetson's
back?
It's either Stetson or Carson.
Okay.
Stetson's got a hurt back apparently.
Ah,
It's hard when he throws 5 for 5,
Right.
245 yards and 5 touchdowns in the first half.
the mailman.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah, he's from right outside of Waycross, Georgia. Just saying.
Who else is from there? What a terrible place.
Burt Reynolds. Actually, that's a lie. He lied. He made that up.
You know who else is from there? Gnats. And lots of them.
Gnats.
Gnats.
Stephen and Nats, apparently.
That's about right.
And Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, that's about right.
You said he made it up, huh?
Pernell Roberts, Trapper John M.D.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't grow up there, I don't think. But anyway, yeah, that's all we got. Well, that's it. Graham Parsons, we can drop it. So, Lisa, what would you say is some of the best advice a mentor has ever given you in your working life?
A mentor. Well, let me tell you a little story. I don't have one.
Autodidactic.
Also, late to the game, me, apparently, in business. We talked about this a little bit at lunch before we came here. And 20 years ago, I was 21. I was a single mother, and then ended up meeting my husband. And, we had kids, and being a mom is very difficult to manage 3, and we had a business, and I was running that, and which was very successful, by the way. I had a bakery for 6 years that was very successful. We got to the point where I was going to have to grow again, or just kind of call it a day or take a break, because my husband traveled for work, and it was just very busy. It was a very busy time.
What type of bakery was it?
I did custom cakes. So all
wow.
the little figurines, like the people and all that stuff. I've always had that creative touch.
That's cool.
Something I have to have something to do, with my hands. I have to get it out of my brain, and that's where the cocktails come in now.
That's awesome. What a great way to use that skill.
Right? Cocktails or cakes, I can do both. But, so I wasn't automatically just right out of college into the business world. I actually went to college to be a police officer. I went for criminal justice, and that, being a single mother kind of changed things a little bit, a lot of it, for that, career path. So, I was derailed a little bit, being a mom for so long, and but I've always had the entrepreneurial spirit and the mind for it. Always have to be busy. I always have to be doing something, and I have a lot of great ideas. So I didn't really have a mentor per se. I would say that if anyone's inspired me in my life, if we can go that route, it would be my mom. My mom is a very strong woman, has been, through a lot of things in her life. You are not going to tell her to do anything. She's going to do what she wants to do, the way she wants to do it, and that's it. And fortunately or unfortunately, it's rubbed off on myself. And also my daughter, who has the same personality and the same spirit. And, you just...
Payback.
It
right?
serves you well, though, right?
It's payback.
Right. But, great things you can learn from your parents. And, 20 years ago, I probably didn't realize that. Now that we're older and I've raised a family and I've been in business and I've met lots of people, that's really where my inspiration comes from, and I'm sure she'll be glad to hear that. But and I should probably tell her more. So if you have a mentor or someone that's inspired you, you should tell them.
Agreed.
That is true. That is true.
Because a lot of that goes unnoticed.
That's right.
I feel like.
George, if you could go back 20 years and give yourself some advice, what would you tell your 20 years younger self?
Probably have a little more balance. I've been a type A guy forever, either in sports or in the military or in the fire department. And when I hit business, it was the same thing.
Yeah.
And it was, like you were saying, 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning until 8 or 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And when I took on this, when we purchased this company, we'd work on the fire truck 24 hours. Get off that morning, and I'd work until about 10 or 11 o'clock at night. Get up the next morning, do it again, and then go back to the fire truck. And it took a toll, but it takes a toll on family. It takes a toll on yourself. Health is always should be number one. Can't take care of anyone else. Can't take care of yourself.
That's true.
And I think if I gave advice, it would be have a little more balance in my younger days. I think I do a better job now. I try to get on a routine and stay disciplined a little more than I did in the past, and not just work. But I think that would be it. Is just balance between self, family, and business, and sometimes one takes over the other. But just that constant balance is probably a little what I needed a little more.
That's advice that I could stand to use right now. I'll tell you, man.
I think everybody needs that advice.
Right.
Sometimes you just need to hear it, even though you think it. You just need to hear it, and you just need the reminder. It's hard.
Yeah.
To balance
you gotta
everything.
Carve out
It
some
is.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is hard to do. So Dave.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
He's nervous now.
If you weren't in your current role with Level 7 Facility Services, what is a likely alternative career path you may have chosen?
I think I would have been a professional gambler.
Yeah.
Maybe a professional
Oh.
or fantasy football player.
Yeah. Listen.
Do they have those?
Yeah.
Is that a
yeah.
thing?
Oh yeah.
Really?
I've got a confession, and I hope that some of our league members are listening to this, but Dave got kicked out of my league because he was too good, and he kept winning, and nobody else even really knows about what's going on. Was the whole purpose of the league is just to get a bunch of knuckleheads together once a year, and Dave shows up and starts paying attention and winning year after year, and everybody's like, "Who is this guy? Where did he come from? He's got to go. He's got to go.
Whose friend is this?
Yeah."
It's unbelievable.
So Mob Rule won, and Dave pretty much got ejected. And however, what they don't know is that Dave is behind the scenes secretly managing my team.
Well, there you go.
He
I
and
was about to say it sounds like some consulting is going on.
So we are going to split the winnings when it's all said and
Oh,
done.
so you kind of got your dream job. You're a fantasy football consultant.
Well, yeah.
If
It doesn't
anybody
pay very well.
needs one, we
doesn't
know
pay.
him.
It
Here he
does
is.
not pay the bills. But
Well, guys, do y'all have anything else that y'all would like to share with our listeners? Anything that we haven't covered
Well,
yet
let's
today?
tell them how to find us.
That's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
Yes.
You
I'll
start,
start.
please.
CheersAtlanta.com is where you can find us. It's constantly being updated. Of course, we're also on Facebook and LinkedIn. Take our journey with us. We're going to be outfitting this trailer, like I said. I'm going to post the updates, and I'm excited for y'all to see it and see where we go, and hopefully join us and keep an eye on it.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
going to be great.
Yeah,
We're going to have a
you'll
great
get a lot of
time.
business from us, I
Have a
promise.
great time.
Absolutely.
It's
Thank
coming.
you guys so
Sooner
much.
the better.
I very much appreciate you.
You bet. Thank you.
Chief Facility Defense is chieffd.com. find us on Facebook as well. And yeah, we're doing the same things. You know, we're getting out there and we're growing. Didn't talk about mission and core values that much, but I did want to say that our mission statement is super important to me. It's protect life and property, and that's everything that we do. So you're going to see that on everything for us. That's our brand, and we believe in it. But yeah, we're looking forward to a great 2022. I'm ready for a little more distance from what's been going on.
Yeah, I hear that.
But you know, we're I think big things, and we certainly need to have a social. So maybe we
I'm
can
here
have
for you.
a Moscow Mule.
There you go. Absolutely. Well, we don't have the readout sheet in front of us, but I think I've got it. You know, I think Dave can probably handle it.
Woo. Pressure.
So, for Stephen, take us out of here.
So, we would like to thank our lovely guests today, Lisa Schultz and George Nour. Really appreciate you guys coming on. Honestly, thank you very much.
Thank you
It's
for-
been a good
Thank you
time.
for having us.
And Dave and I are going to be doing this once a month. We are going to have, I think, Jackie Polakis with Mercedes-Benz Stadium on next month, if I'm not mistaken, and a couple others that are exciting prospects. And we're going to have Lisa back to make drinks every month as well.
That's a great
Okay.
idea.
Hey, I will create something just for your show.
So, on behalf of our guests and my esteemed partner, Dave Hollister, this is Stephen Tomlinson with Level 7 Facility Services, and you've been listening to Business Radio X.